Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second and 9, Murray. And right away, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On third down, Dobbins. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano.
A 30-yard attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play fake. Murray. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
That's caught inside the 20. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd and 12, Murray looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. On the ground, McCaffrey, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Mark Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. On second down, Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 40 now on second down. Murray, and he rifles one incomplete. Ray McLeod, the intended target, and it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there for the Niners. And even 40 yards. And just on Wednesday, he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for that over 100-yard performance he had last week.
Deservedly so, and I enjoyed our time with him and asked him.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He's going to take a shot for the and he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on first down. Herbert looking for his running back, and he's got him.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 9 on the first down play. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
On third down, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. The Niners on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Murray now. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. On 2nd and 11 now. Murray nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Murray going to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over. prior to this upcoming second down play.
Down. 10 Lobo.
Hey, got tight left, tight his left.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Jack. Jacksonville. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Murray. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. So we have reached halftime here. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 12 yards on the return that time, and that will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's McCaffrey. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Murray. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, put you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either. So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Murray's pass complete to DeAndre Hopkins. Touchdown, San Francisco.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll get this out in a hurry to Parker. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Herbert, Goodwin able to haul it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Dobbins. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw. Herbert. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point try good by Gano, and it makes the score 21-10. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
This is McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
2nd and 4. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Herbert. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Darren Waller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Well, that's true. You've said that before. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about two-minute offensive. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it, and the Jags grab it. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first.